Hi, my name is Carla. I'm 23 years old. I'm Mexican and I was raised in California. Today I want to share this video to tell you a little bit about my life and how my life changed when I accepted Christ as my Savior. For me, everything started when I was around 2 to 3 years old and my parents separated. When I was a kid, I didn't understand what was going on, so it didn't affect me until I was a teenager. But during my time as a kid, Mom wasn't around a lot because she had to work, and my father lived in a really different country, so I didn't have a chance to see him a lot. So the father figure I was supposed to grow up with wasn't there. And that, as a woman, well, my value wasn't as sure I was supposed to be. So I really lacked love for my both parents. And that made me feel lonely and that I really didn't have a value as a woman. And as my culture, Mexicans really think that the woman is the one that's supposed to serve the man. So that was what I was doing with my brothers when my mom wasn't around. And when I started my teenage years, feeling so lonely, feeling so nothing for my mom, for my dad, and taking the guilt that they separated because of me, I started drinking, I started taking drugs, and I started having the wrong friends because it was such an influence what they told me that they put me against my whole family. I trusted them more. I trusted everything they would say, and even though my mom said, I love you, I understand you, I know what you're going through, it wasn't really enough for me. So there was this point where I met this drug dealer who really, in a way, made me feel loved. It wasn't real loved, but all the things he would offer me, money, jewelry, with all these kind of stuff would actually make me feel good. It made me feel like someone actually accepted me for who I was. It actually gave me a value, but I didn't understand this would take a really big cost in my life. I saw that when I was around 15 to 16 years old, where it was so bad, my relationship with my family, that I decided to run away from home. And that was devastating for my mother because she wouldn't eat, she fell in depression, and she would be in her room all the time. When I found out about this, I ran back home. I said sorry about what I did, but I really hurt her, and I knew things weren't going to be the same. And it wasn't the same for me as either, because even though I went back home, the drug dealer, I was his possession, to say in a way, because he decided when it was over or not. Even though I tried several times to get away, to just stop this relationship we were having, no, he said, you're mine and you're going to do what I tell you to do. So that was hard for me, and it even put my family in danger, because if I tried to get away, if I tried to do anything, he would hurt one of them. So I was feeling like I was stuck. I didn't have any options. Having all this pressure inside me and feeling so lonely at the same time, I fell in depression. I wouldn't eat. Everything was going really bad. So I decided to see a psychologist, and the psychologist told me I had to see a psychiatrist, and they told me I had borderline. It's a disorder where you're never stable. You change the way you feel in an instant, and it's horrible because you have these type of seizures that you can't control. So that was really hard for me. Feeling this way, of course, I tried to commit suicide because I just couldn't. It was too much for me. I couldn't take it anymore, the type of life I was living. And in these times, I would look for God, because my mom always told me about a God who created me, who loved me, but I didn't really get involved with him. And after falling in like this really deep hole where I realized I can't get out, so when I was having a seizure, I remember I got out of my house where I was living back then. I ran, and I saw this church, this Catholic church, and I ran inside. There was no one there, but I felt so bad. I started crying. I started just feeling this pain inside. And I remember myself saying, God, if you really exist, if you are a loving Father, and you are all those things that people say, save me, cure me from this. I don't want to live like this. And I told God, if you cure me, if you make me feel new again, I promise to serve you. And that moment I didn't feel anything. But in 3 days I lost everything. I lost family, I lost money, I lost everything I had. So I decided to do a missionary school. And to be honest, that changed my life. And this is what I want to share with you today. And if you want to be part of me, I'm glad to share all my life and details of what I'm going to do. In the next few months, I'll be leaving to YWAM, Spain, where I'm doing a commitment with 2 years. And if you want to know more about it, I'll leave you my Facebook, my Instagram, so you can contact me. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad. I would really be glad to tell you everything about it. Thank you, and God bless you.